You believe your plant is dying because you're giving it too much water. It's the most common advice, repeated so often that it feels like an unquestionable truth. So you water less, hoping things will improve. But instead, your plant continues to fade. Leaves turn yellow, growth slows, and confusion sets in. What if overwatering isn't the real problem at all? What if the true danger is something hidden beneath the soil, silently suffocating your plant's roots? In this video, you'll uncover the real reason plants struggle and learn how a simple shift in understanding can transform you into a confident, self-reliant grower. The hidden battle beneath the soil, where plant survival truly begins. What we see above the soil tells only a small part of a plant's story. Green leaves, strong stems. While new growth may give the impression that everything is fine, but the true health of a plant is determined underground. Beneath the surface lies a complex and delicate world where roots quietly work every moment to keep the plant alive. These roots are the plant's lifeline. They anchor it in place, absorb water, collect essential nutrients, and most importantly, they need oxygen to survive. Many people are surprised to learn that roots must breathe. Just like humans and animals, they require oxygen to produce the energy needed for growth and survival. In healthy soil, tiny spaces between soil particles hold air, allowing oxygen to reach the roots. However, when the soil stays constantly wet, these air pockets fill with water. Without access to oxygen, the roots begin to suffocate. This lack of oxygen weakens them, but slows their function, and eventually leads to their decay. As the roots struggle, their ability to absorb water and nutrients becomes severely limited. This creates a confusing situation for plant owners. Even though the soil is wet, the plant begins to show signs that look like thirst, such as wilting leaves, yellowing, or drooping stems. Seeing these symptoms, many people instinctively add more water, believing they are helping. Unfortunately, this well-intentioned action worsens the problem, further suffocating the already stressed roots. Over time, suffocated roots can develop a condition known as root rot. In this state, the roots turn brown or black, become soft and mushy, and may produce an unpleasant smell. Once root rot sets in, the plant can no longer transport water and nutrients effectively, leading to a rapid decline in overall health. What appears to be a problem above the soil is actually the result of a silent struggle happening below it. Understanding this hidden battle changes the way we care for plants. Instead of focusing only on how often we water, we begin to consider the environment in which the roots live. Healthy plants depend on a balance between moisture and air in the soil. When this balance is maintained, roots remain strong and active, enabling the plant to thrive. By recognizing that plant health begins beneath the soil, you shift from reacting to visible symptoms to addressing the true cause of the problem. This awareness empowers you to make better decisions, such as improving soil structure, ensuring proper drainage, and allowing the soil to dry appropriately between waterings. With this deeper understanding, plant care becomes less about guesswork and more about thoughtful observation. The secret to thriving plants is not simply watering less, but creating a healthy underground environment where roots can breathe, grow, and support life. When you nurture what lies beneath the surface, the beauty above the soil naturally follows. When soil becomes a trap, the silent danger of poor structure soil is often seen as nothing more than the material that holds a plant in place, but in reality, it is a living environment that determines whether a plant thrives or slowly declines. To the untrained eye, All soil may appear similar, yet its internal structure plays a critical role in the survival of every plant. When this structure is poor, the very medium meant to support life can quietly become a trap. Healthy soil is a delicate balance of solid particles, water, and air. These elements work together to create tiny spaces that allow roots to breathe while still receiving the moisture and nutrients they need. However, when soil is too dense or compacted, these essential air pockets disappear. Water becomes trapped within the pot, lingering far longer than it should, and the roots are left in a constantly wet and suffocating environment. Many commercial potting mixes or garden soils can contribute to this problem. Some are made primarily of fine particles that hold excessive moisture, while others break down over time, becoming heavy and compacted. As the soil settles, it loses its ability to drain properly, turning the container into a stagnant space where oxygen is scarce. In this condition, roots struggle to function, and beneficial microorganisms decline, and harmful fungi and bacteria begin to flourish. This silent transformation often goes unnoticed because the symptoms appear gradually. Leaves may start to yellow, growth becomes slow, and the plant loses its vitality. These signs are frequently mistaken for nutrient deficiencies or improper watering, leading plant owners to add fertilizers or adjust their watering routine. Yet the true issue lies deeper, in the soil itself, which is no longer capable of supporting healthy root development. Another hidden danger of poor soil structure is its impact on nutrient availability. Even when nutrients are present, suffocated roots cannot absorb them efficiently. This creates a paradox, where the plant appears starved, despite being surrounded by both water and nutrients. Over time, this imbalance weakens the plant's immune system, making it more susceptible to pests and diseases. Transforming soil from a trap into a nurturing environment requires thoughtful adjustments. Incorporating materials such as perlite, pumice, coarse sand, or bark chips introduces essential air spaces that improve both drainage and aeration. These components prevent the soil from becoming compacted and allow excess water to escape while still retaining enough moisture for the plant's needs. Additionally, repotting plants periodically refreshes the soil structure, ensuring that it remains supportive rather than restrictive. Choosing the right soil mix also depends on the specific needs of each plant. Succulents and cacti, for example, require fast-draining soil that dries quickly, while tropical plants prefer a mix that retains some moisture but still allows adequate airflow. Understanding these differences empowers you to create an environment tailored to each plant's natural habitat. When you recognize that soil is not just a passive medium, but a dynamic ecosystem, your approach to plant care changes profoundly. Instead of focusing solely on surface-level symptoms, you begin to nurture the hidden foundation that sustains life. This awareness transforms plant care from routine maintenance into a thoughtful and intentional practice. Thriving plants are not simply the result of proper watering. They are the outcome of a healthy and balanced soil environment. By ensuring that the soil remains loose, well aerated, and capable of draining excess moisture, you free the roots from their silent prison. What was once a trap becomes a sanctuary, allowing your plants to grow with strength, resilience, and vitality. This understanding marks a significant step towards self-reliance. Rather than depending on generalized advice, you develop the knowledge and confidence to create optimal conditions for your plants. And when the foundation beneath the soil is strong, the beauty above it naturally flourishes. Trapped water, dying roots, why drainage determines life or death. Water is essential for every plant, yet when it becomes trapped, it transforms from a source of life into a silent destroyer. Many plant lovers carefully measure how much they water, believing that controlling the quantity alone will keep their plants healthy. However, the true question is not just how much water you give, but what happens to that water afterward. If it cannot escape, it creates a hidden environment where roots slowly suffocate and decay. Drainage is the process that allows excess water to flow away from the soil, ensuring that the delicate balance between moisture and air is maintained. In healthy conditions, water moves through the soil, leaving behind just enough moisture for the plant while preserving the air pockets that roots need to breathe. When drainage is poor, these air spaces fill with stagnant water, depriving the roots of oxygen and initiating a gradual decline that often goes unnoticed until it is too late. One of the most common causes of poor drainage is the use of pots without drainage holes. While such containers may appear attractive or convenient, they trap water at the bottom, forming a hidden reservoir of constant moisture. Even when the surface soil seems dry, the lower layers can remain saturated for long periods, silently damaging the root system. Over time, this persistent wetness leads to root rot, a condition where roots turn brown or black, become soft and mushy, and lose their ability to absorb water and nutrients. Another contributing factor is the placement of pots and saucers or decorative outer containers where excess water is allowed to collect. If this water is not removed, it is gradually reabsorbed into the soil, prolonging the period of saturation. This creates an environment where harmful fungi and bacteria thrive, further accelerating the deterioration of the roots. What begins as a simple oversight can ultimately determine whether a plant survives or slowly fades away. The material of the container also plays a significant role in drainage. Breathable pots made of terracotta or unglazed clay allow moisture to evaporate through their porous walls, helping the soil dry more evenly. In contrast, plastic or ceramic pots retain moisture for longer periods, increasing the risk of water accumulation if not managed carefully. Elevating pots slightly above the surface using pot feet or stands can further enhance drainage by allowing water to exit freely and preventing it from pooling at the base. Improving drainage is not only about preventing excess water, it is about creating an environment where roots can function at their best. When roots receive adequate oxygen, they are able to absorb nutrients efficiently, support strong growth, and resist diseases. Plants in well-drained conditions develop healthier root systems, which in turn lead to vibrant foliage, stronger stems, and greater resilience against environmental stress. Simple practices can make a profound difference. Always choose containers with sufficient drainage holes and ensure these openings remain unobstructed. Use a well-structured soil mix that promotes the free movement of water. After watering, allow excess water to drain completely and empty any collected water from saucers. When repotting, inspect the root system and remove any damaged or decayed roots to encourage new, healthy growth. Understanding the importance of drainage transforms the way you approach plant care. Instead of focusing solely on the act of watering, you begin to consider the entire journey of water through the soil. This awareness shifts your mindset from reactive care to proactive stewardship, empowering you to create conditions that support long-term plant health. In essence, drainage determines the fine line between life and death for a plant. When water flows freely and roots can breathe, plants flourish with vitality and strength. When water becomes trapped, the same life-giving element turns into a silent threat. By mastering the principles of proper drainage, you not only protect your plants, but also take a significant step toward becoming a more confident and self-reliant grower. This knowledge ensures that the life you nurture above the soil is firmly supported by a healthy and thriving foundation below it. Beyond the watering can: how environment secretly controls plant health. When a plant begins to struggle, our first instinct is often to adjust the watering routine. We measure more carefully, water less frequently, or sometimes increase watering, believing that the solution lies within the watering can. Yet, the true health of a plant is shaped by forces far beyond how much water it receives. The surrounding environment quietly and continuously influences how a plant grows, drinks, and survives. Light is one of the most powerful environmental factors controlling plant health. It is the energy source that drives photosynthesis, the process through which plants create the food they need to live. When a plant receives adequate light, it uses water efficiently and maintains steady growth. However, in low-light conditions, this process slows down significantly. The plant's demand for water decreases, causing the soil to remain wet for longer periods. This often leads to unintentional overwatering, even when the amount of water given seems reasonable. On the other hand, excessive direct sunlight can cause rapid evaporation, increasing the plant's water needs and potentially leading to dehydration. Understanding the balance of light allows you to align your care with the plant's natural rhythm. Temperature also plays a crucial role in determining how plants use water. In warmer environments, plants transpire more quickly, meaning they lose moisture through their leaves at a faster rate. This increases their need for water and nutrients. Conversely, in cooler conditions, metabolic processes slow down, and the soil retains moisture for longer periods. Seasonal changes can therefore dramatically alter a plant's watering requirements. A routine that works perfectly in summer may become harmful in winter if not adjusted accordingly. Recognizing these shifts ensures that your care remains responsive rather than rigid. Humidity is another subtle yet significant factor. Plants naturally release moisture into the air through a process called transpiration. In environments with high humidity, this process slows down because the surrounding air is already saturated with moisture. As a result, plants require less frequent watering. In contrast, dry indoor air, often caused by heating or air conditioning, accelerates moisture loss, increasing the plant's demand for water. By observing humidity levels and making small adjustments, such as grouping plants together or using a humidity tray, you can create a more supportive environment for healthy growth. Air circulation is equally important, though it is often overlooked. Gentle airflow helps regulate temperature, encourages even evaporation, and reduces the risk of fungal diseases. In stagnant environments, moisture lingers on leaves and within the soil, creating ideal conditions for pests and pathogens. Ensuring that plants are placed in areas with adequate ventilation allows them to thrive and strengthens their resilience against environmental stress. The size of the container and the location of the plant within your home also influence how quickly the soil dries. Larger pots retain moisture longer than smaller ones, while plants placed near windows, vents, or heat sources experience different drying rates. Even the orientation of a room, whether it faces north, south, east, or west, can significantly affect light exposure and temperature, subtly shaping the plant's overall health. Understanding these environmental influences transforms plant care from a simple routine into a mindful and intuitive practice. Instead of following a fixed watering schedule, you begin to observe the signals provided by both the plant and its surroundings. You notice how the soil feels, how quickly it dries, and how the plant responds to seasonal and spatial changes. This awareness empowers you to make informed decisions tailored to each plant's unique needs. Ultimately, thriving plants are not the result of perfect watering alone, but of harmony between water, light, temperature, humidity, and airflow. When these elements are balanced, plants develop stronger roots, healthier foliage, and greater resilience. The watering can becomes just one tool within a broader understanding of the plant's ecosystem. By embracing this holistic perspective, you move beyond reactive care and step into a deeper relationship with the natural world. This shift fosters confidence and independence, allowing you to rely on observation and understanding rather than guesswork. In doing so, you embody the essence of self-reliance, nurturing life through knowledge, awareness, and harmony with the environment. The lifeline of every plant, restoring and protecting root. Vitality. Beneath the quiet surface of the soil lies the true heartbeat of every plant, the roots. While leaves and flowers capture our attention, it is the unseen root system that sustains life, anchoring the plant and serving as its primary channel for water, nutrients, and stability. When roots are healthy, the entire plant flourishes with strength and vitality. When they are damaged, even the most beautiful foliage cannot hide the gradual decline that follows. Understanding and protecting root vitality is therefore essential to the long-term survival of any plant. Roots are far more than simple extensions beneath the soil. They are living, dynamic structures constantly searching for moisture and nourishment. Healthy roots are typically firm, light in color, often white or cream, and have a fresh, earthy scent. These characteristics indicate that the plant is actively absorbing the resources it needs to grow. In contrast, unhealthy roots tell a very different story. When deprived of oxygen due to excessive moisture or poor drainage, they begin to decay. Affected roots turn brown or black, become soft and mushy, and may emit an unpleasant odor. This condition, commonly known as root rot, disrupts the plant's ability to transport water and nutrients, leading to yellowing leaves, stunted growth, and eventual collapse.
Restoring root vitality begins with awareness. Because roots are hidden from view, their condition often goes unnoticed until visible symptoms appear above the soil. Regularly inspecting the root system during repotting allows early detection of potential problems. Gently removing the plant from its container and examining the roots provides valuable insight into its overall health. If signs of rot are present, carefully trimming away the damaged portions with clean, sterilized tools can prevent the spread of disease and encourage the development of new, healthy growth. Equally important is the choice of soil and container. Replacing old, compacted soil with a fresh, well-draining mix revitalizes the environment in which roots live. Incorporating materials such as perlite, pumice, or bark enhances aeration and ensures that excess water can escape, allowing roots to breathe freely. Selecting containers with adequate drainage holes and, when possible, using breathable materials like terracotta further supports a balanced moisture environment. These simple yet effective steps create the ideal conditions for roots to recover and thrive. Proper watering practices also play a crucial role in protecting root health. Allowing the soil to dry slightly between waterings encourages roots to grow deeper in search of moisture, strengthening the plant's overall resilience. Watering thoroughly but less frequently is often more beneficial than providing small amounts of water on a rigid schedule. This approach ensures that the entire root system receives hydration while preventing the constant saturation that leads to suffocation. In addition to physical care, fostering a healthy soil ecosystem supports root vitality. Beneficial microorganisms naturally present in quality soil help break down organic matter, making nutrients more accessible to the plant. These microorganisms also contribute to disease resistance, creating a protective environment around the roots. Using organic compost or natural soil amendments can enhance this living ecosystem, promoting sustainable and long-lasting plant health. Protecting root vitality is not merely a corrective measure, it is a proactive commitment to the plant's future. When roots are given the conditions they need to flourish, the transformation above the soil becomes unmistakable. Leaves regain their vibrant color, new growth emerges with vigor, and the plant develops a renewed sense of strength and stability. This visible revival serves as a powerful reminder that true health begins at the foundation. Ultimately, caring for a plant's roots reflects a deeper philosophy of mindful stewardship. It requires patience, observation, and an appreciation for the hidden systems that sustain life. By prioritizing root vitality, you move beyond surface-level care and embrace a more holistic understanding of plant health. This shift not only ensures the success of your plants, but also cultivates confidence and self-reliance in your ability to nurture and sustain life. When you honor the lifeline beneath the soil, you unlock the full potential of every plant. Strong roots create strong plants, and strong plants transform any space into a living testament of resilience, growth, and harmony with nature. Through this awareness, plant care becomes more than a routine. It becomes a meaningful and empowering journey, from guesswork to mastery, becoming a self-reliant plant grower. For many people, plant care begins with uncertainty. You bring a plant into your home with excitement and hope, but soon you find yourself searching for answers: how often to water, how much sunlight is needed, when to fertilize. You follow advice from friends, online guides, or the label attached to the pot. Yet, despite your best efforts, the results can feel inconsistent. One plant thrives while another struggles, leaving you wondering what went wrong. This stage of confusion is where most plant journeys begin, rooted in guesswork rather than true understanding. Over time, however, a powerful transformation becomes possible. As you start to observe your plants more closely, you begin to notice subtle signals: the way leaves respond to light, how quickly the soil dries, the firmness of the stems, and the overall rhythm of growth. These observations shift your approach from blindly following rules to developing an intuitive understanding of each plant's unique needs. Instead of asking, "How often should I water?" you begin to ask, "What is my plant telling me today?" This simple change marks the first step from uncertainty toward mastery. Mastery in plant care is not about perfection, it is about awareness and adaptability. Every plant exists within a dynamic environment influenced by light, temperature, humidity, soil structure, and seasonal changes. A self-reliant grower recognizes that these factors are constantly interacting and understands that care routines must evolve accordingly. Rather than relying on rigid schedules or generic advice, you learn to respond thoughtfully to the specific conditions surrounding each plant. This flexibility leads to more consistent and successful outcomes. Becoming a self-reliant plant grower also involves embracing patience. Plants operate on their own natural timelines, and meaningful change often occurs gradually. When challenges arise, such as yellowing leaves or slowed growth, the self-reliant grower views them not as failures, but as valuable feedback. Each experience becomes an opportunity to learn and refine one's approach. This mindset transforms mistakes into stepping stones, building confidence and resilience over time. Another essential aspect of mastery is understanding the interconnected nature of plant health. Watering, soil quality, drainage, environmental conditions, and root vitality are not isolated elements. They form a unified system that supports life. By recognizing these connections, you gain the ability to diagnose problems accurately and implement effective solutions. This holistic perspective empowers you to create stable and nurturing environments where plants can flourish. As your knowledge deepens, a profound sense of confidence begins to emerge. You no longer depend solely on external instructions or trends. Instead, you trust your own observations and decisions. This independence is the essence of self-reliance. It allows you to care for a wide variety of plants with assurance, knowing that you possess the understanding necessary to support their growth. The anxiety and hesitation that once accompanied plant care are replaced by calm certainty and enjoyment. The transformation from guesswork to mastery extends beyond the plants themselves. It fosters qualities such as mindfulness, responsibility, and a deeper connection with the natural world. Caring for plants becomes a reflective practice, encouraging you to slow down, observe carefully, and appreciate the quiet processes of growth and renewal. These lessons often influence other areas of life, reinforcing the value of patience, adaptability, and thoughtful stewardship. As a self-reliant plant grower, you also become a source of inspiration for others. Your thriving plants stand as living evidence of the power of understanding and intentional care. Sharing your experiences and knowledge helps build a community of individuals who are empowered to nurture life with confidence and respect. In this way, the journey of self-reliance extends outward, creating a ripple effect of growth and learning. Ultimately, mastery in plant care is not defined by the absence of challenges, but by the ability to respond to them with wisdom and confidence. Each healthy leaf, each new shoot, and each flourishing plant becomes a testament to your journey from uncertainty to understanding. You move from simply keeping plants alive to truly helping them thrive. When you embrace this transformation, plant care evolves into something far more meaningful than a hobby. It becomes a philosophy, a reflection of self-reliance, awareness, and harmony with nature. By trusting your observations and nurturing the hidden systems that sustain life, you step into the role of a mindful steward, capable of cultivating not only healthy plants, but also a deeper sense of connection and fulfillment. In the end, becoming a self-reliant plant grower is about more than mastering techniques. It is about cultivating confidence, patience, and understanding. With these qualities, you are no longer guided by guesswork, but by knowledge and intuition. And as your plants flourish under your care, they stand as living symbols of the mastery you have achieved and the self-reliant mindset you have embraced. Caring for plants is often seen as a simple routine watering on schedule, placing them near a window and hoping they thrive. But as you've discovered, the true journey of plant care goes far beyond these surface actions. The real transformation begins when you look deeper, understanding the hidden systems that sustain life beneath the soil and around the plant. Overwatering was never the true problem. It was merely a symptom of a more complex and interconnected environment. By exploring the unseen world of roots, recognizing the importance of soil structure, ensuring proper drainage, understanding environmental influences, and restoring root vitality, you have moved from reacting to problems to truly understanding their causes. This shift represents more than just improved plant care. It marks the beginning of a new mindset, a mindset rooted in awareness, patience, and confidence. Embracing the self-reliant grower mindset means trusting your observations rather than relying solely on rigid rules or generalized advice. It is about learning to read the subtle signals your plants provide, the texture of the soil, the posture of the leaves, the rhythm of growth, and the changes brought by the seasons. With this awareness, uncertainty fades, replaced by a quiet confidence that guides every decision you make. This journey also cultivates deeper personal qualities. Patience grows as you learn to respect the natural pace of life. Mindfulness develops as you pay closer attention to the environment around you. Responsibility strengthens as you nurture living systems with care and intention. In this way, plant care becomes more than a hobby. It becomes a meaningful practice that reflects harmony with nature and a commitment to self-sufficiency. As your understanding deepens, your plants begin to mirror this transformation. Leaves become more vibrant, growth more consistent, and resilience more evident. Each thriving plant stands as a living testament to your ability to learn, adapt, and create the right conditions for life to flourish. The fear of making mistakes is replaced by the confidence that comes from knowledge and experience. The self-reliant grower does not seek perfection, but strives for balance and understanding. Challenges are no longer seen as failures, but as opportunities to learn and refine one's approach. Every yellow leaf or slowed growth becomes a message guiding you toward better care. This perspective empowers you to nurture not only your plants, but also your own sense of capability and independence. Ultimately, embracing the self-reliant grower mindset is about recognizing that true success in plant care and in life comes from understanding the foundations that support growth. When you cultivate this awareness, you are no longer dependent on guesswork or fleeting advice. Instead, you become a mindful steward of life, capable of creating environments where both plants and people can thrive. As you continue this journey, remember that every plant you nurture is a reflection of your growing wisdom and patience. Let each new leaf remind you of the power of knowledge, observation, and self-reliance. With this mindset, you are not just growing plants, you are cultivating resilience, confidence, and a deeper connection with the natural world. If this message resonated with you, consider sharing your experiences in the comments and becoming part of a community dedicated to thoughtful and self-reliant living. And if you wish to continue this journey of learning and growth, subscribe to the Self-Reliance System, where every insight brings you one step closer to mastering the art of nurturing life with confidence and independence.